Hello students, let's continue this chapter and in this video we are going to discuss about service digitalization. So let's see what is digitalization first. So digitalization is the use of digital technologies to change a business model and provide new revenue and value producing opportunities. So digitalization is the process of converting something to digital form. That something means it may be the processes or it may be the documentation or it may be the way in which they are providing service. It is transformed into a digital form, that is called digitalization. So it is the process of moving to a digital business. So way of doing business, way of carrying activities that are converted into digital form, and that is called digitalization. So digitalization is the use of digital technologies and digitized data to improve the quality of service provided by the organization. So let's see what is service digitalization. New digital technologies change the way in which health and social services are organized, produced and used. So digital technologies that has changed the service sector, especially health and social services. So the way in which they are produced, used, so that is changed. Everything it is digitalized now. So digitalization of services help service providers to use new technology appropriately and to allocate development resources to targets where they provide the most optimal operational benefit. So digitalization of services that help service providers to use technology for allocation of resources, for manufacturing a product and for inventory management and for communicating with customers. So to provide service, everything we can do in a digital form. So let's see the digitalization of government services. So how government services are converted into digital form. Earlier it is used to be in non-digital form, that means in a traditional form where you have to visit government departments to get their service. You have to travel to the place where there is a government department. You have to wait for a long time for meeting the officer in a respective department to get even a simple or a little information. So now there is no need, you can visit to the website. So as you know about B2G model, business to government model, so where companies and citizens, they get necessary information, they submit documents directly to the website of a government, and they can get information about the government services or about the policies introduced by the government or any changes that is made in rules and regulations or policies that are informed in a website of a respective department. So now we can visit that website and we can get the information, and again we can pay charges or we can make payment to government through online, and again we can book railway ticket or bus ticket or railway through the online. So no need to go to the place where the respective office is located, and so no need to travel that much, and by sitting at home with a mobile or a computer you can make transaction. So leverages principles developed earlier to form new business models, partnership between public, non-profit and private sector based on digitalization and data-centric services. To get the benefit of digitalization or to upgrade the services of governments, sometime government is going to tie up with the non-profit agencies or public sector or private sector, where they are going to tie up in order to get a technology which that particular organization or non-government organization is doing. So to improve the service provided by the government, government is going for tying up with non-government agencies or non-government companies to improve quality of service provided by them, or to compete with public sector. They are going to get technology which is already been adopted in particular public sector or private sector industries, private sector companies. So with them they are going to tie up. So why digital government? So what is the necessary of digitalizing the services of government? It clears a link between digitalization and economic growth and competitiveness and innovation. You can see that when we come about the government company, we will be having like there will be no innovation, there will be no quality like a private company, how they provide a service or how they provide a product, produce a product. So that kind of quality will not get in case of government companies. So that is a mentality we are having. So because of digitalization, it lead to economic growth. So because government companies also now doing best because of digitalization, because of using technology, and they are competing with private companies, and they are proving that they are not less than any, they are not inferior than any private companies, and they are going for innovations, so to improve the quality of service. And forward looking governments are looking to adapt and experiment to new service models. So various new service models they want to adopt in organization, I mean especially in government organizations. Citizens expect government to provide to equal or better services than private sector. Yes, citizens also they expect better service from government agencies, because when we compare the prices of private sector and the government companies, so where there we can find the differences. So citizens also expect government services, and they expect that they should provide services better than a private sector. Citizens are interested in increasing their digital transactions with government. They want to access digital public services through their mobile phones. So citizens of a country, they are also interested in digital interactions with the governments. Already we are doing this, and they want to access digital public services through their mobile devices. So this has already been done, and we are using services of government through mobile phone. So let's see the second, that is digitalization in education sector. So there is a digitalization of administration, then there is a digitalization of learning and teaching, there is a digitalization of evaluation, then research, then extension. So everything is digitalized in education sector. So let's move on to this digitalization of administration in an educational institution. So digitalization we can see in administration. There will be website for educational institutions, so where we can get the information about the company, that is about the institution. So where the organization is established, from how many years it is in existence, and about the infrastructure provided by the organization. So everything information we can get in the website of educational institution. Then online admission, so we can apply to a respective institution through online. So we have to visit to the website, and we have to fill some information about us in an application form provided. Then we can make payment through online, and we can get admitted to that institution. Then management information system. So management information system, MIS, is a computer system consisting of hardware and software that serves as a backbone of an organization's operations. So there you can get information about the company, like assets of the company, infrastructure of the institution, and facilities provided by the institution. So various teaching staff and non-teaching, so every information about the institution, it is available in management information system. So this MIS, where it gathers data from multiple online system and analyzes the information and reports the data to aid management in decision making. So it provides this system, this software that helps the management for gathering data, and also we can also get the information about the company. Then online inquiry, so about availability of seats, about availability of various courses, and so any inquiry we can make through online. Then online transaction, so online transaction like paying of fees, it may be examination fees, or any, if you want to donate to that educational institution, that payment you can done through online. Then biometric attendance, so because of corona most of the institutions are not doing this, but biometric attendance is very good, where it is going to record the time of your entering an institution, and it is very transparent, where it gives accurate result about your attendance to the for a respective class, or for the respective subject. Then digitalization of a library, so in a digitalized library we can get the information about number of books available in a library, and nowadays there is a software that is Inflibinet. So if you have access to that portal, then you can read any book. And in organization, in educational institution, when you have digitalized library, you can see that how many books are available, and in a particular topic, so which are the authors are there and where it is, and so everything we can see, and this book is issued to which student, when is the due date, so everything we can see when there is a digitalized library. Then office automation, so everything, every information about students, about the staff, about the institution, that are atomized, means it is recorded in an office, so everything it is automated in organization. Then use of social networking, so company will have its own Facebook page, it will have its own Gmail or email account, so you can communicate with the social media with the institution. Digitalization of learning teaching, so learning and teaching, that is digitalized now. So there is a execution of LMS, that means learning management system. So learning management system is a software which has skill based courses and training programs. So the idea of LMS emerged as a natural sequel to e-learning. So you can get various courses and training programs in this learning management system. Then development and distribution of digital study material. So you can get study material, and you can distribute study material through the various apps like Google Classroom, where we can distribute this study material, even in other apps like Facebook, where also we can distribute the study materials to the students, and in our website of our institution they can upload materials, so their students can download it. Then use of blended learning. So blended learning is a style of education in which students learn via electronic or online media, as well as there is traditional face-to-face teaching, but along with that students will learn through online media. So that means computer assisted learning. So you can go for online assessment. Immediate you can give feedbacks to the students in this blended learning. So there will be more transparency in getting feedback. So organizing webinars, then you can weave expert lectures in YouTube. Learning through videos and audios, virtual libraries are the examples of this blended learning. Setting up e-classrooms, computer labs and language labs. Then availability of educational software. So these are what digitalized learning and teaching. Digitalization of evaluation. So evaluation of students that can be done through online. So there will be online exams like web based or LAN based or app based exams. So LAN based means it's a system that is designed for giving valid and reliable scores for the students, and it also helps teachers in computing test scores. So where you're going to conduct online exam, and there only you're going to give scores to the students. So use of software. So you can use certain software to scan and assess and arrange and to prepare the results sheets, and use of digital communication of tools to communicate results. So nowadays we are getting results from the website of Mangalore University. So no need to visit to the college to get result. So directly from the website we can download our result. So digitalization of research activities also digitalized. So use of digital tools in the process of research, making use of statistical software in data interpretation. So we can make data interpretation by using this software for statistical analysis. We can make use of software, and for getting soft copy of research documents means we can get soft copy. So hard copy will be in the form of papers, and soft copy will be having it in a pen drive. So this is also what technology, right? Then communicating research by using digital tools like blog, websites, and social networking. We can communicate a research. So whatever the research we done, whatever the paper we have prepared, so that we are going to communicate with others through websites or through blog or social media. We can communicate, or we can inform others. Digitalization of extension. So preparing digital resources useful to the community on social issues. So we can prepare digital resources which are useful to the social, we are making documentaries or videos or photo slides on the programs like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan and welfare schemes. So what it is an extension where we are in social media, we are going to popularize the schemes of governments and making socially useful posts on social networking and spread. This is also kind of education we are giving to our students, where we making or where we teaching them to make right use of social medias and taking help from local community to prepare welfare digital resources. Then banking sector. So how the banking sector is digitalized, let's see. So adoption of digitalization is very useful or very important for the banking sector. So with this adoption, bank can provide enhanced services. At the end, customers' time will be saved. That means in olden days, for withdrawing money, for depositing money, and for checking the balance, so we used to visit bank. So now we can do it through online. We can transfer amount to another person's account or to another account. We can do it through the apps of the bank. So digitalization can reduce human errors and build customer loyalty. So humans may do errors while recording the amount. So that errors we can reduce after digitalization, and it builds customer loyalty also. Today everyone has adopted online banking, so managing large amount of cash has also become easier. So we can transfer any amount to another person's account. We can transfer it. So management of a large amount, it is not that much difficult as olden days, where it's very difficult to carry amount of a larger sum. So now through mobile we can directly transfer to another person's account without carrying a cash. Digitalization has also benefited customers by facilitating cashless transactions. So digitalization that has encouraged cashless transactions, and customers they don't need to store cash anymore and can make transaction at any place and at any time. So no need to carry a cash in a wallet always. So if you have card, or if you have the apps like Google Pay or Paytm, so we can make a payment through that. Use of digitalization in banking sector. Today's demand of banking is anytime, anywhere, and anywhere banking. So this requires innovative, robust, secure, optimized, and ready to meet the expectations of empowered and tech savvy customers. So banks have benefited several ways by adopting newer technologies. Every once in 3 months, or they are going for updating their services. So you can see, you will get messages that today from this state to this state there will be no availability of online services because we are going to upgrade our technology. So it requires time, or to improve the quality of service, they are going for updating the technology. So finally we are going to benefit from that. So e-banking has resulted in reducing cost drastically and has helped to generate revenue through various channels. So the number of customer base has also increased because of convenience of anywhere banking. So even people from rural area, they also participating in banking, means they are doing transaction. So even if their house is located from too far from the banking, they can do a transaction where there is internet connection. So it is possible to access and analyze the data anytime, enabling a strong reporting system. Commercial banks in India have moved towards technology by way of bank mechanization and automation, with introduction of MICR based check processing and electronic fund transfer, interconnectivity among bank branches, implementation of ATM channel have resulted in the convenience of any time banking. So strong initiatives have been taken by the Reserve Bank of India in strengthening the payment and settlement system in banks. So current status of digital space in banking. So Indian Bank is aggressively promoting digital transactions. So government has launched many apps like United Payment Interface, like UPI, that is UPI, Bharat Interface for money, BHIM app for by national payments, Corporation of India (NPCI) are significant steps for innovation in the payment system. Then UPI is a mobile interface where people can make instant fund transfer between accounts in different banks on the basis of virtual address mentioning the bank account. So not only UPI, you need to have the app of respective banks. Through that you have to transfer, you can transfer money, you can check the account balance. So you can change the ATM pins, like that you can do it through the app of a bank. Today's banks aim to provide fast, accurate and quality banking experience to their customers. Today the topmost agenda for all banks in India is digitization. Digitization and digitalization different. Digitization means where it is an internal optimization of processes. That means the information that are converted into digital form, that is called digitization. So various digital payments we can see, not only government. So there is a Airtel money, then Idea, it is not there. So lot of Paytm. So all these apps we are using for making payments. Digitalization of hospitals. So hospitals, this means healthcare industry is also digitalized now. So various services of healthcare, that is we can see in a digitalized form. So like general schemes. See, government has provided many schemes which are helpful for poor people. So here the patient will know the schemes provided by the government based on their diseases. So various schemes provided by the government for respective diseases that can be known to the patient through their mobile devices, through the website of government. Then bill details. The system of a hospital that saves the patient's related data in the Android phone. Means in a there will be software there. It helps a patient to know about their bill details. So patient can see all expenditures spent for both the tablets and treatment can be viewed in the smartphone using this application. So by using the application they can see the bill details. Alarm intimation. This application provides alarm to patient which is set by person with specified time for drugs with name, so that patient can take his medicines on scheduled time. So this software helps a patient to know which tablet I have to take on this time. So that alarm system that helps patient for getting tablets on time. SMS based appointment. So this software provides facility for patient to send SMS to doctor to get appointment, and patient gets reply from doctor if appointment is confirmed. So if appointment confirmed, they'll get a message from the doctor. So this software helps them to get a appointment and confirm of appointment. Government scheme eligibility with the respective user information. Patient can know about government scheme details based on their age and respective category. So for their category and for the age, so which are the facilities that are available from the government in a private hospital we can see. So patient information transferring. So transfer of information related to patient. When doctor want to shift patient from one hospital to another if treatment is not successful. So there through online we can transfer information to about patient to another hospital. Availability and searching of drugs. So this software gives facility to search for drugs which are available in your hospitals. When you are in problem of getting a tablet, so when we won't get tablets, then because of using the software we can search where that tablet is available in near hospital or near medical. Searching for doctors in emergency and FAQs. Searching doctors who are available in near places and that doctor details, and also patient can ask any queries related to his health. So you can see where a doctor is available relating to your disease, and you can make queries, you can ask questions with that doctor through that software. Then specimen verification and report. So here doctor will provide prescriptions based on image which is sent by patient for some physical injury visible to patient. So directly from the place where you can get prescription from the doctor for your injuries. For the disease it is not possible because the patient will not know what has happened to, he can feel what is happening, but the actual reason that should be diagnosed by the doctor. So in case of physical injury, he can see that injury so that he can send the picture of that injury to the doctor, so he can get the prescription for that. Government or private report. Government will get report from hospital like how many patients are suffering from different diseases, especially corona. We can get daily information that how many people are infected corona in a week, in a day, in a month. So how many people are discharged, how many people died. So everything we can get. So this is because government is getting report from the hospital. Barcoding. Persons will get identified by specific barcode. So this barcode help to create card. Here we provide achieve security so that no one can mistake. So this barcoding is provided when you are admitting to a hospital. So they by scanning that barcode you can get information about the patient so that no confusions can arise. Queries to government from patient. So your patient can complain related to hospital management or doctor etc., from which patient can get all facilities provided by the government. So if the particular hospital or a doctor is not treating well, then he can directly make queries to a government, or he can complain to a government, so can get facilities from the government. Treatment details. So your patient will get all details relating to his treatment through Android cell after logging to the application. So you need to log into the application where you'll get information about treatment details. So the platform used in our projects are Android and web. So languages here in this software or in this app, it is used HTML, Java, PHP and SQL. So treatment details, what are the treatment that are done after doing a treatment, after treating a patient, doctor will inform the office people. They are going to record it in a computer system. So any other doctor, when they visit, when they enter patient name or when they enter the patient number, so they'll get so what are the treatment are provided, which are the prescriptions are provided, and what is a problem which patient is facing. So everything, every detail we can get. Thank you. So these are what services that are digitalized. So it is simplified so that it reduces the cost and time involved in getting services, and also it improves the quality of service provided.